that's not a big deal because only 5 of them. You have to cut all of your fiber optic cables the length you want. And you have to insert all of the fiber optic cables into the holes. Now if you're doing 14 LEDs, if you're doing the 14 light version, those last 4 LEDs that you've got to put into a single hole, that's difficult, especially because the cuts are all facing different ways, and that's where you're going to get the inconsistency in light, which was a real shame because you spend all that time on it, and then when you go to test it, it looks like shit. I mean, I think out of all the ones I did, I only got one looking right, and that's because I spent ages on it. Okay, so we've got one more here. I mean, like I said, the fiber optic way is nice, gives a nice effect, has that really nice 80s style look to it. But yeah, it just was impractical for my use. And shipping something like that would be a nightmare. I mean, can you imagine putting all that work into the whole build, and then just for the lip lights, just for one little tiny cheap ass optical cable to break, would just screw the whole thing up, and it'd be impossible to fix. You'd have to pull it all apart and redo a whole light module. It'd be a nightmare. I wouldn't even want to think about it. At least I can have full faith in this. I have done this about maybe 23, 25 times now. In multiple different sort of sequences, from 10 LEDs to, what do we got here? 10, that's 20 in that one. I've done 35, and I've done the 86. I mean, if somebody wants to show me and prove me wrong that the optic ones work, by all means, show me how. Okay, last one. Now, a good idea is to test all these, which I will be doing now, because they're bunched up. You just want to make sure these are all making a connection and each pair is lighting up before we move on to soldering them onto the board. Okay, so that is all of them. So we're going to start with number 1. So let's just put this in our holder so we can all see it. Yeah, we'll just take it like that. Oh, you can see one of the LEDs popped out. So I want to push that back in. I'll make sure that glue really gets in the back there. Actually, I might go ahead and put a nice big thick bit on it, because again, I have full faith in this without even testing it. So let's just get that, make sure that's all in that hole there. The reason I don't do the front is so I can actually push them and hold them in place as well. I used to do it at the front and forgot about it, went to go touch it, your fingers would touch, you'd pull and you'd rip out half of the wires. And you'd have to start again. So this should be fine. Let's just carefully put it on a, actually, is that magnetized? Yes, it is. Okay, let's just flip this guy around. Put him like, actually no, we want him around the front so we can see it light up. Now we want all of our cables at the back. So we're going to start with the first pair. We just want to make sure these are going to work. So I'm just going to turn off the light a little bit. So we want negative and positive. Come on. This battery, I think I need a new battery. Okay, there's both of our lights. So that's number 1. Now we go to number 2, which is 3, 2. There's our 2 there. This is our 3. Yes. Is that labeled 3? Yep. Okay, that's our number 3. Number 3 lights up. So back there. Number 4. Number 4 lights up. And number 5. Okay, so they all work. They're all grouped. They're all numbered. They're all soldered. Let's move on to the second part. We'll just turn on the light a little bit more. Now we need our UV board. Now I used to mark these with a red texter so I wouldn't forget. So this side is the red side, so I'd always mark down that side with a red texter just to remind me, but I know it's the red side now. So, and I work back, so I work from 1 2 3 4 5, so I can, no, actually, sorry, backwards. I start with 5 4 3 2 1, that way I can overlap the wires and not have to be over the top of each other, just to make things a little bit easier. So let's just set this up. What are we on here? 47. Okay, so it's probably going to run into an hour here, which is not too bad. So let's just hook this onto that. Now I'm going to pre-solder the ends here, just to, and I always solder it on the bottom of the board. It's just because it's the way I'm going to be wrapping the wires around after. So up to you if you want to solder them to the bottom of the board, top of the board. At the moment I am leaving the existing LEDs in place, but I will be chopping them off at the end. And there's actually a way of chopping those off too, because I ruined, well, you can heat them up, pull them out if you want, but again, it's all going to come down to how long you want to spend on this. As I said, I usually do these in about 15-18 minutes. I'm really stretching this out, but okay, so we start with number 5. And we start with our negative first because that's the internal one. Let that stop. Next one. It's number 5. Now number 4. Just make sure that's number 4. Nope, that's number 3. That's why I label them. Okay. Now see, when I do number 4, I'm overlapping number 5. If I started with number 1, the wires would be down first and I'd have to pull them apart to get to number 2. So by doing it backwards, I can just simply go over the top of the existing wires that I've just previously done. And my prints are done. My other print, yep. So both my printers are free. We grab number 3. Number 3, yep. So the sound source, you can use whatever you want because you're just basically plugging the speaker terminals into this. So you can use any sound source you want that has a speaker attached to it. Now when I've tested this all out and it all works and I'm all happy with it, what I will do is stretch out these wires. I'll get some hot glue and just run a bit all the way down there and press it down with my thumb just to lock in all the wires and hold it all down nice and secure. So we're at number 2. Have a little bit more solder here. Now I don't have my hot glue set up at the moment, so I won't be able to show you that, but it's just basically securing the wires down, wrapping them over the actual UV meter and locking it down at the front. So last set, is that number 1? Yep, always good to double check. Okay, now that's it. That's pretty much it. I can go ahead and test this right now. So let's undo that. We'll go back to the dull light. We will see at this point, after I've tested this, I will separate these wires, get them in there, hot glue that, so it's a nice little cute module like that. Actually, this is a good example right here for you. So I start by gluing those ones down first, and then I will wrap the wire around, because some of these wires are going to be different because of the position they're right there. So you can stretch this down, get them all nice and even, and then you're going to have excess wires on this side, like some loose, longer ones here. You can just glue them all down together and give you that consistent length. On the eyes, I usually put the eyes straight down and I connect all these as well, and the eyes get connected to the positive and negative, so it's all one unit. But let's just give this a test. So I've got my power supply. I've just got some AAA's, doesn't have to be powerful, so we're going to plug that into our positive and negative. Now it's lighting up because my fingers are connecting at the back of this board. Connecting some of the wires. Go back to the dull light. We'll connect in our power supply, which is just one of the birthday pre-programmed re-recordable chips, I should say. It's one of my favorite things to use at the moment. So we're just going to trim this little cable just a little bit, just so I can slip it in. So I hadn't done that previously. Oh. Okay, so we'll plug that into the speaker terminal. So you've just got your positive and negative there. Push that down a little bit. Positive and negative speaker terminals. So basically the speaker terminal just gets connected to the speaker terminals. So the speaker is connected to the board. There's extra little points there I can plug a bridge off it and then plug it into there. So let's give this a test. Turn it on. Yep.
Oh, hi everybody, it's me, Johnny Five. Welcome to Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
Now you can see all the lights lighting up too much at this point. Now you can either lower the volume, which nobody wants to lower the volume, or there's a little gain control right there. So we take a little screwdriver, which I did have somewhere. I purposely brought one in just for this occasion. Guess I'll be using a pair of scissors. So we'll use that. So we'll just turn it on.
Oh, hi everybody, it's me, Johnny Five.
We'll
Welcome to
turn.
Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
Actually, I really need my screwdriver. I'm going to break my knife here. Damn, where's my screwdriver? Just let me pop out real quick just to get that screwdriver. And I can't find the screwdriver, so damn. Alright, so I'll just use this little knife here. So we just want to turn the gain up.
Everybody, it's me, Johnny Five.
So I just want to
Welcome
rotate
to Titanic Toys, where your
that.
dreams become reality. Oh, hi everybody,
I
it's
really
me,
need a
Johnny
screwdriver.
Five.
Just
Welcome
bear
to
with me.
Titanic Toys, where your dreams
No
become
idea where my
reality.
screwdrivers are. This is kind of not how I planned it. Still can't find my screwdriver. Strange because I had two of them. So let's just use my knife.
Oh, hi everybody, it's me, Johnny Five. Welcome to Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
And this is not really terrible
Oh, hi everybody, it's
little
me,
demonstration
Johnny
of this
Five.
because I need my
Welcome to
screwdriver.
Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
Okay, is that it there?
Oh, hi everybody, it's me, Johnny Five. Welcome to Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
Okay. And I just broke it. So this is a bad demo. So I just broke that because I'm too lazy to get my screwdriver. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this real quick again. Just very, very quick. And I'm annoyed that I don't have my screwdrivers. But that wheel was a little bit stuck. So again, these are only $1.20. They may not all work either. So this is a good little stuff up, to be honest, because now I can show you exactly how to fix it. And this is why you label everything. So I can just quickly go back, pull all these off. I mean, look, unfortunately things happen. So we just want to pull these off again. Even if I had my screwdrivers, I don't think that was going to turn. For some reason that seemed very hard to turn. But again, not a hard fix if this happens. And this is why you don't glue everything down until you find that it all works. Now this board is not broken, it's just that little one gain control, so I can swap that over for another one. So I won't throw that out. Oh, okay, so I'll grab another board. Luckily I had this one on hand, so we want to flip this around, sorry. And I should find my screwdrivers before doing all this again. So this is a board I've used previously, so hopefully it's not a dud board. So we're going to grab our wires again. But main part is all of the LEDs in the lip lights work. Trying to speed this up a little bit because I did not plan on that. I was actually going to go live and do this, but I knew this was going to drag out, and I knew I was going to come into one or two little issues. The one thing I didn't do was pre-solder the connection points. Hang on, I just have to re-solder them just to make life a little bit easier. Get some fresh solder on them. Everything's still in focus. I haven't checked the phone in a while to see. As long as I'm on this white piece of paper, I am fine. Number 3. And I'm going to have to go and find my screwdrivers because this sucks. I had everything all prepared, and I just can't find those 2 screwdrivers. I need a little flathead. But again, hopefully this is not a dud board, because I just picked it up behind me and it looks like I have used it once before. Last one. Okay, I might just hook up my glue gun real quick, because I might show you how I do it as well. I know it's stretched out way past an hour now, and if you stuck by and watched the whole thing, fantastic. I hope you learned a little something and appreciate how much work goes into these little tiny things. So let's try this again. So we'll grab our little sound module. It goes into the board. Now the reason I know this is been used before, because I've started chopping it there, and I might chop that one off. I'll just get rid of that one. I'm just going to chop that red LED out, because I don't like why I've half chopped that out for some reason. Plug in our power supply, negative to positive. Come on, get on there. Okay, let's see if this soundboard works.
Hi
There you
everybody,
go.
it's me,
Okay.
Johnny Five.
So
Welcome to
the game
Titanic
is turned up
Toys,
again.
where your dreams become reality.
Let's see if I can turn this wheel. I'm going to use the knife again. Don't particularly want to use it, but
Oh, hi everybody, it's me, Johnny Five. Welcome to Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
it's turning a lot better. So it must have been just that
Oh, hi
game.
everybody, it's me, Johnny Five. Welcome to
So
Titanic Toys,
there you go.
where
See how I
your
can
dreams
control
become reality.
the volume of the
Oh,
lights
hi
now.
everybody, it's me, Johnny Five. Welcome to
So I can turn them
Titanic
right down.
Toys, where your dreams become reality.
Now you just want to get it just so the
Oh,
last
hi
set of
everybody,
lights
it's
light
me,
up.
Johnny Five. Welcome to Titanic Toys,
There you go.
where your dreams become reality.
So it was the board. So it was a faulty board before, because I couldn't turn the wheel. It must have been stuck or something. I don't know. So at this point, I don't need these LEDs. Don't snip them from the base, because your pliers will scratch the surface and screw your board up. So I like to snip them just above the little lip that's on the base of the LED. Now you don't need these. These are just going to use up voltage. So let's just get the plastic off, double check it all works still.
Oh, hi everybody, it's me,
There you
Johnny
go.
Five. Welcome to Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
Perfect. Go again, just test them one more
Hi
time.
everybody, it's me, Johnny Five. Welcome to Titanic Toys, where your dreams become reality.
So that all works. We double checked it, unplug it. I'll quickly just do this so I can show you how I finish them. Because I went this long, I might as well go and do the second little part. So just take off the tape. So like you just saw, not everything works straight away, and it's not always a human error. Most of the time it is a human error, but in this case it wasn't. So let's just get that tape off. Come on. This is usually where frustration sets in and things start going wrong. And you don't want nothing going wrong now after you've spent an hour on this. When I'm making a lot of these, I try and do them in stages. So I will get all my lift modules done, paint it all up. I have like 5 or 6 of them laid out, and then I'll do all the LEDs, and then I'll glue them all, and then I'll solder them all. Very long process, but... So what we want to do is grab ourselves a little zip tie. Zip tie that up. Are we going for time here? Not too bad. So we don't want to pull that all the way up just yet. So then we're going to separate these roughly half and half. Now you want these to be flat because these actually get glued on the underside of the head. They don't get fixed down with screws or anything. So you just want this to be all flush. Top, just get that wire over. This black one here is becoming a problem, little guy, aren't you? Okay, pull those nice and tight, make sure they're all tucked down. I'm going to grab our hot glue, and we just want to just fill that cavity in there a bit. With our thumb and just press down. Sink those wires in and just secure them in place. Give that a few seconds. I mean, it's not going to be pretty, but you're not going to see it. So that is it, nice and clean, nice and flush. So they just get a little bit of glue there and on the four edges actually, and then it gets fixed onto the underside of the head. A couple more. Grab say 3 of these. Get our glue ready. Sorry this is taking so long. So we want to fix down. Just trying to move my soldering line out of the way here. We just want to pull these in nice and tight so they're in one line, and then we just want to fix these down. Again, wet your thumb, press down. Give that a second. And then we want to pull these down so we are making a nice straight even line with the cables. And we might zip this off a little bit harder. Now you can see there's an inconsistency in length of the wires at the end there. So we want to just pull this down, keep these all nice and straight. Nice and straight, pull that back up. We're going to grab that, pinch it, and we want to just pull this as tight as we can without breaking anything. Just going to pull that back. We are going to put a little bit of glue there. Again, wet thumb. It holds all that, and then we just pull this down a little bit like that. A little bit of glue right there. Again, this is not pretty, but the whole purpose is to lock all these wires in place. With our thumb. make a nice, neat little compact unit. Okay, so that's all locked down. Now we can go ahead and pull these zip ties to where we want them. Pull these off. Oh, sorry, not pull them off, cut them off. And there is our lip light module. You can still get to the gain, you can still get to your plugs. It's a nice length, it sits in the chest cavity. And that is it. Thank you for watching.